Podcast start take 2.
The first take apparently wasn't appropriate, so we had to do it over.
Nope, it was not.
No, it wasn't.
It's
But what
This is
shall
a-
happen
This
behind
is a baseball podcast.
this particular episode is very much baseball. Boys, how does it feel that all of our teams suck again? Like I mean,
Yeah.
two of us aren't used to it. But how does it feel that none of our teams are good?
I was going to say, what do you mean again, dude? Welcome back. How have you been? I haven't seen you guys in a while.
I haven't seen you since 2014, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
We won't be here that long.
We
I
were.
Oh, we met you in
bad
15. We met you in 15.
I was going to say, we were. Yeah. We were pretty good up until actually 17. We weren't bad either.
Yeah.
16 up until 2017, we were decent. Then we started to go back to the normal Pittsburgh Pirates way. But
And that sucks because like the rest of the division was also very good too. Like that's what sucks.
which dude, that's what blows because like we were a 98 win wild card team.
Yeah.
And any other division that wins the division. Those couple years, we were like anywhere between 92, 98 win wild card teams, and it was ridiculous.
Dude, I feel
It's
that. That was us in 18 when we won 95 games in 2018, and we played game 163 against the Brewers because they went 7-0 in the last week of the year.
Yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. The Central is just so good all the time. They either all suck at the same time or they're all amazing at the same time.
Right. Yep. I do just want to say thank you very much, Brandon, for your team officially starting sell-off season 2021. Not even – then did – Yes. That was really the first move of the trade deadline season with a Z.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, the first move of the trade deadline season that really kicked things off. It got everybody's attention. I don't think anybody was thinking the Rays were going to trade for Nelson Cruz.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I understand the move. The best way to put it is he's 41. He's on his last year of his deal, and there's a chance that he wants to re-sign with us if we can pitch to him that we're a contending team next year, which I honestly believe that if the Twins are healthy, we can contend because all of our top prospects, like top 10, I think like 6 or 7 of them are projected to be ready in 2022. So, and one of the guys that we got in the Barrios deal, Austin Martin, he had a game winner yesterday in Double-A at his second game, which was kind of cool to see. Yeah, he's a stud, man. I'm excited to see. He's top 16 prospect in the MLB.
The thing I've learned from the Pirates is being ready, like a prospect being ready, and a prospect actually a team having room for that prospect.
Yeah.
Those two dates never, at least with the Pirates, they never connect. Dude, the amount of prospects that have been we've had prospects literally that were ready for months or even years, and we just let them rot down in the minor leagues because we always wanted to treat this this MLB veteran that wasn't good when he played, but we're going to give him a shot even though he's 17 years past his prime and needs a walker.
Yeah. To get down the first baseline, yeah.
Not to get off baseball and to move to Star Wars, I just want to show you something before my cat knocks it down. I'm building something.
What are you building?
I'm very excited. I'm building a Gonk droid. So it's going to be fully painted. I'm going to weld some shit together. It's going to be awesome. But this is just a model of it at the moment.
Okay.
It's just storage bins, and all this shit's going to go on it. I'm excited about it.
That's very cool.
But that's what I'll be. I need to take this down before he eats everything. But anyway, back to baseball. Yeah, dude, the Pirates just blow. The Cubs now blow. The Twins, the Twins don't blow, but they're moving towards that direction if they don't make some moves that matter. And
Brandon's team is in the best position out of all of us.
Oh yeah, Brandon's team. The Twins are 100% in a much better spot looking towards the future than the Pirates or Cubs.
Yeah.
I guess if we could probably talk team by team here and like contention and like what's their future look like. If we start with the Twins, I think the Twins are like they're either going to like it's going to come down to if we trade Buxton or Donaldson in the offseason, then it's kind of telling. It's like I just feel like Byron Buxton is such a special player that if you build around him and you any player is gonna like get the risk of injury. Everyone's got that. I mean, his risk of injury is high.
I feel like you would have traded Donaldson. I feel like you would have traded Donaldson now.
Yeah, I don't think it's time to trade Buxton. I think that he's obviously showcased his talent. So like Byron but like he's by no means the Byron Buxton he could be, if that makes any sense. Like the dude, like when I watch Byron Buxton and when you look at his stats, like he'll have stretches of games where it's like, holy shit, like where has this dude been?
Yeah.
And then he has stretches of games, like, and everyone goes through good and bad spells. It's just kind of one of those situations where at some point he's going to have that season or he's just going to have that one game where he never looks back.
Yep.
Where Donaldson, I feel like it is time to trade Donaldson. He's not getting any younger. I feel like he's hit his peak, if not has passed it. And this is just my personal opinion, but after the A's traded away Josh Donaldson, that was his career. Yes, he had successful moments with the Blue Jays and then so on, and I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying I don't think he'll ever be as good as he was when he was on the A's. So if you're going to trade someone that has value, his name alone, Josh Donaldson's name alone has value. Any young guy is going to know who Josh Donaldson is. And so I think it'd be foolish to trade Buxton now. But then there's the Pirates. Pirates have traded everybody. For the first time ever, we've traded everyone.
Well, if we go we'll get to the Pirates. I just want to say one thing about the Twins is like, Buxton, the only reason why we would trade him is if we don't extend him. Because this is 2022 is his last year of arbitration eligibility.
Get ready for that.
So we'll have him next year, but it sucks because he put a lot of work in the offseason and he like bulked up and he's been hurt all year. And it's like almost not his fault. Like he got hit in the hand and he broke his hand. Like you can't blame a player's durability because his hand broke off a fastball right to him.
No.
And then Sano sucks. Kepler's not that good. And Jorge Polanco's actually been really good lately. But
it's not even your team. It's just your current lineup.
Yeah.
Make one or two moves, call some kids up, and the Twins are right back. Not this year, but next year they're right back in it.
Yeah. Like Kirilloff was out with a wrist injury and he's getting surgery on it, so he'll be back next year. And he was pretty good at hitting. He was batting like 260 or 70 or something. He was hitting. He had a really good OPS. He's good. The Twins we just need pitching. I think I saw a stat where like if we didn't give up more than 5 runs, we're like 40-20. And when we do give up 5 or more runs, we're like 3 60. It's something insane where we've only won 3 games if we give up 5 runs. And it's like, how is that even possible? Which I don't know if that speaks more like pitching sucks because we probably give up like 10 runs when we give up more than 5 runs. I don't know. And then, of course, Barrios, as soon as he got traded to the Blue Jays, he puts up like 7 innings and 8 strikeouts or something. It's like, oh, that's good. But I really like the return we got for him. I think this Austin Martin kid, the stud. I think the pitcher is, I call like it's a dart throw. Like they could be good, they could be bad. You never know.
That's fair.
That chance.
I mean, you got to look at all these things, and then you also need to look at, the realistic odds of postseason success. Because right now, I don't think it's any secret, based on what we've seen this year, that the White Sox are going to run the AL Central for the foreseeable future. The Indians have sold off. or I'm sorry, the Guardians now as of next year.
The Guardians.
No,
The
maybe
Royals
not.
And Tigers suck.
Wait, what? Really?
Guardians might not happen. Do you guys not hear about this?
No.
I did not hear.
Oh, dude,
No.
listen to how hilarious this is. So the Cleveland Indians changed their name to the Cleveland Guardians. They make it public. They make the official announcement, right? Everyone says this is fucking dumb, but we'll accept it.
Yeah.
Then
I wanted the Spiders.
in comes a lawsuit. There is a women's roller derby team. I believe it's a women's – I know it's a roller derby team, but I believe it's a women's roller derby team called the Cleveland Guardians that are pissed because Cleveland Indians just took their name. So in retaliation, they reached out and they said, hey, we don't – like this is our name. And the Cleveland Indians did not respond. They said, fuck that, we don't care. So they started selling Cleveland Indians merchandise. The roller derby team started selling Cleveland Indians stuff. But, like, Cleveland Guardians stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like, they started selling baseball jerseys because they both own the name.
Yeah.
And they said, we're either going to keep the name or they're going to pay us out the ass, and they can choose which one. Otherwise, we're going to continue to sell this stuff because it's our name. It's pretty much the Washington Redskins thing all over again.
Mm-hmm.
That's
where,
funny.
like, anyone can do this now, and because they own the name, they're allowed to sell it, like stuff with the name on it.
I feel like we had gotten to the point where we'd accepted that it was going to happen. And I know a lot of people that wanted spiders. I think that would have been awesome.
Spiders
I think
is
you could
cool.
have come up with some really cool merchandise for that, especially like a hat. Like, why would you not go with that? That's so unique. There's no spiders in any of the sports.
The other one,
probably some college somewhere, but
yeah.
The other one that I know, because I know that concept art gained a lot of traction.
Yeah.
And the Cleveland Rockers. Did you hear about that one?
Oh, because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's in
Since they have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like their logo was this super cool looking. It was like a bass guitar or like an electric guitar or something, and the G was the bass. And there was some really cool concept art and jerseys and things like that. But I mean, obviously, evidently, nothing came of it. Same with spiders. But why Guardians? Is there something I'm missing? Like I haven't dove too deep into the name, but was there something I was missing? Like, is there a connection to that? And
Might be like a tribal connection.
I think they like the IANS at the end of it. Like keeping that ending of Indians and putting that in Guardians.
What they should have done was
I could see that.
Name it something with the C, like that way they can keep all the merchandise that just has the plain Cleveland Indians C on it. Like you can change the physical name. Like the Pirates did that a while ago, not with the name but their logo. They slowly, you know, the skull and crossbones, where the crossbones are a bat.
Mm-hmm.
They slowly. That was like our main logo, and then they slowly phased it out because they thought it was dumb. And our logo since 2013 has just been the gold Pirates P. Also stands for penis or putts, depending on what month of the year they're playing.
That's fair.
A lot of never people, October.
Yeah, after we blew it, so in 2012, we were like in first all year. And then we like lost every game in September, and that's when we were eliminated from playoff contention. After that year, people started to they flipped the Pirates P upside down and rotated it, and then so it was a B, and they called us the Bums.
Always.
Yeah, dude. It was a rough day in the neighborhood for Mr. Rogers, but what are you gonna do about it? So, skipping right over the Cubs because nothing eventful happened with them.
Nothing eventful happened at all.
Let's go to the Pirates. Let's go to the Pirates. Well, you got to end with the Cubs. I feel like that's the grand finale.
The Pirates fucking okay. I can recap.
You don't want to talk about.
They just suck. They just suck so much, and like it blows. But we have a new front office as of like 2 years ago, and they promised that. I actually was able to go to that press conference, and I brought my brother with me, and we're sitting down, and my brother, like, they're doing, like, the Q&A, and we're just sitting and we're listening to this press conference, and then my brother stands up to ask a question as if he's a reporter, And they hand him a microphone.
Oh my God.
And he goes, "Yeah, I got a question." And he opens this. So basically what happened was there was a press conference with the new front office where
when
obviously
was this? I want to find this.
This was a few I'm not sure. It wasn't like a widely, it was like an internally Pittsburgh thing. It wasn't like it's not going to be, I mean, you can try. It's not going to be on like ESPN or anything, but and I was there and I got to bring a guest. So I brought my brother because, that stuff's interesting to us. We're sitting down, we're listening, we're eating our little tiny plate of food. And there was like, all right, we're now going to open the panel up to questions or whatever. And now this is the new GM, the new everything. So all of a sudden I hear, "Yes, sir, you," in the jersey. My brother wore a Pirates jersey.
Oh, no.
And I look over, and my brother is being handed a microphone. And he stands up and he goes, "Yeah, I got a question." And I'm going like, oh, my God. He goes, "So I just have I don't know where the disconnect is with you guys and the players." But he's like, "Why is it that when we get someone like Tyler Glass now, as long as he's on the Pirates, he's not going to make it through a half inning without giving up 17 home runs. But the second he goes to the Tampa Bay Rays, he's throwing scoreless innings and is a Cy Young contender." And he goes, "So what's the deal?" And I'm like, oh, my God.
That's what Matt's journey with the Pirates ended.
And I'm like, that bad. There goes my employment. And to our surprise, the response that the general manager gave was, "Yeah, we're kind of here to figure that out also." Because this was right when they got hired. To their credit, they gave actually real answers. They didn't beat around the bush. They were and they literally looked at my brother and they went, "Just don't get too attached to anybody." Ooh. And they told everyone, they're like, "I wouldn't get too attached to anyone because in order to make a team good, you need to tear the team apart." And so to their credit, they were super straightforward, but they pretty much were just in the next couple off seasons, we're going to trade everybody. We're going to get prospects. We're going to be they literally said, we're going to be really bad for a few years, and then we're hoping to be in contention.
That's how you do it, dude.
And dude, but it was so and that's what they've done the last 2 years. And this off season especially, you can see it where they're selling everybody. But to their credit, I mean, they did not give the baseball answer. They gave a very real answer, the one that nobody wants to hear, but is the one everybody wants to hear, which is, we're going to sell everyone. We're going to suck, and then we're going to be good.
It makes me feel like they're not just saying shit to make you feel better. It would reassure me as a fan knowing, hey, these guys have a plan. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to cut them some slack. I'm just going to trust the process.
Which is what my brother and I, we kind of left that press conference going those were actually good answers. Because, you guys know how baseball works, but the common fan's an idiot. They don't think that, if you trade, a star player, they think it's because, the team is cheap. And the team might be cheap. That might be the case. But with a lot of general managers, with a lot of teams, you trade the best player in order to get better prospects to then build a future team. But the average fan doesn't know that.
I will speak on that as well. And I'll speak on all of that here in the next couple minutes.
Go ahead. Speak on it. Let's hear it.
Okay.
Let's go. Cubs.
So,
why do they suck?
We'll transition into the Chicago Cubs.
Oh, okay.
I have mellowed out significantly since the Friday, July 30th trade deadline. My initial reactions, I have talked a lot about what the Cubs did at the trade deadline on several different podcasts over several different days. And the farther I get away from the trade deadline, the more I feel better about it. Obviously, it was just one more kick to the balls watching Rizzo, Baez, and Bryant all homer in their debuts with their new teams, which big middle finger F you to the Cubs as an organization. But we're not going to talk about that.
Don't forget about the pitcher that you guys gave up a home run in his debut.
Yes. One of the pitchers, one of the good relievers that we gave to the White Sox gave up a home run in his debut. So you're welcome, White Sox. You can thank me for that in your stupid caps later. How about you post that gif of Eloy Jimenez hitting a bomb one more time and say, thanks, Cubs? Because I haven't seen that enough in the last week. But anyways, I agree 1,000% with everything that Matthew just said. You have to trade good players in order to get back good prospects.
And it hurts sometimes.
It does hurt. And anyone that remembers, and I know a lot of Cubs fans won't remember the bad times because they just became fans in 2015. But anyone that remembers 2014 and earlier, we sucked. We consistently sucked. We're talking 60, 70 win seasons. It was absolutely brutal after 2008 to be a Cubs fan the last time the Cubs were any good. And the way that we built the team up. Yeah, you guys remember. It sucked. And the way that we built the team that won the World Series was by sucking that many years. We were getting top 8 draft picks every year, and that's how we got those guys.
You know, and to put that into perspective, and I just want to let you know what other teams, because like my point of view of the Cubs from early on was automatic win. Even for the Pirates, it was like playing a T-ball team. Yes. It was the easiest win you're ever going to get. Like to the point where if you lost to the Cubs, you might as well
it's like the Rockies baseball.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, and then 2015 happens.
Just came out
and the Cubs immediately become like my most ass-sweating inducing team. Yeah. We couldn't beat them. No one could beat them. And it was so frustrating to watch them succeed. Because you make fun of them for so long.
Exactly. A lot of things contributed to this sell-off. One of those things being the fact that all 3 of those guys' contracts were all set to come to an end at the same time. And if you're looking at baseball, not from a fan, like emotional side, you got to look at it from a business money side as well. There's no way that you can afford to pay all those guys exactly what they want. I think that after hearing about the contracts that they were offered, I think they were fair. I honestly think that for Anthony Rizzo, what they offered him, he's 32 years old. He has back issues consistently every year. I think they offered him the right price. Maybe you could have gone a little bit more, just be like, hey, you're the face of the franchise. You're the cornerstone. Like, we'll pay you a little bit more just because it's Chicago. That I would have been okay with that. I think that Javi Baez's contract extension was way more than he's worth. Yes, the defense is great. The defense is sexy as hell. The Javi tags, I love it. But you're talking about the guy that year in and year out is top 5 in strikeout percentage in the league. Because the guy,
but when he hits it, though.
But when he hits it, when he hits it, it's a dinger.
But when he hits it.
Yes, when he hits it, it's a dinger. But the guy can't take a walk to save his life. The only one that I think I would have broke the bank for would have been Chris Bryant, just because I think that he's gotten a bad rep the last couple years. He's gotten some stupid injuries. He's only 29.
I have a question about him, actually, because in reality, you're only going to keep one of those 3.
Yes.
But with Chris Bryant, didn't he literally hate the Cubs? Because everything I always hear about him,
we were never going to keep him.
Every once in a while, I would get these pop-up stories. It's like, oh, Chris Bryant, Chris Bryant doesn't like the management. Chris Bryant doesn't like his teammates. And all these different things. And I literally heard when he was traded, he was very welcome to it. Because didn't he sue the Cubs? He wanted to sue the Cubs for not bringing
here's what
him
happened. Here's what happened. Here is why I believe those rumors to be true. So back in 2015, when Chris Bryant was a rookie, they could have started him at the beginning of the season on the team. But Theo Epstein made the decision to keep him in the minor leagues until a certain date. I think it's 2 or 3 weeks after opening day, because if they brought him up after that, they got a whole extra year of team control on his contract. So they manipulated his service time. They manipulated his contract by keeping him in the minors for 2 weeks to get a whole nother year out of him. So I get it. I would be pissed off too.
That's not uncommon with baseball players.
No, it's not. But he probably took it a little too, that was probably a thing for him.
he was MLB ready at that time, and everyone knew it.
Everyone knew it. Like, we were all, as Cubs fans, we were waiting for this kid to come up. Like, I think we were all shocked when he did stuff. Yeah. I think we were all shocked when he didn't start the season on the Major League roster.
I know that, at least from the Pirates' perspective, and I talked to a few fans from, like, Milwaukee as well, like, if you were a team in the Central, you knew the best prospects of every team. Yep. And you knew the countdown timer. Like, I remember talking to some people when Gregory Polanco came up. I remember that, and I know my brother and I were shocked when he didn't come up, and then we heard out like he was suing them, and we were like, "What the fuck?"
It's true. This did happen last offseason. There was a legal battle over it. Ultimately, they ruled in favor of the Cubs, so they got to keep that extra year of team control, which
it's like joke's on you almost at that point, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
I think if you did give him that, like, 2 weeks or whatever, maybe he wouldn't have started off on that rocky relationship.
Right. And everything that's happened in Chicago since that day. You have Jed Hoyer obviously coming on ESPN 1000, Chicago ESPN Sports Radio. And I think that fans were really letting them hear it, their displeasure, because he came on the radio and basically did the one thing that you don't do publicly. He threw the blame onto the players. He said, I think everything we offered them was fair. I don't know why they didn't sign it. He basically put all the blame on him. And then Anthony Rizzo comes on the show the next day for the last time because, why would he come on a Chicago sports radio as a New York Yankee? Right. And he basically said, this whole thing just feels like a bad breakup. Like, you got the guy saying that he's fine, when really he's not. And there's a reason nobody signed their extension. So now I think that the front office is toxic. I think the Cubs front office could be toxic. As a fan, that concerns me because players talk to each other. And I know you look at these guys that have meant so much to this franchise. Why would I want to come play for the Cubs as a big name free agent in not even a contending year anymore? It's going to be a retool. And I'll say why I think it's a retool instead of a real build here in a moment. Why would I go play for the Cubs when potentially they're just going to trade me in 4 months?
Yeah.
Like, move my family all the way to Chicago just to get sent to Oakland or Miami or something like that,
Well, and I wonder if the Cubs, because obviously they haven't won since 15. When they did win, it was a huge deal, which made them up. So,
that will always be a special year in my life.
But like,
I'll never forget that year.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I insulted you. My bad. You know what I mean. But like, I wonder if since they started becoming good, they obviously. Think about the amount of money, like from 2014 that they made, and then think about the money in 15 and 16 that they made, like doubled, tripled their profits. And everything, merchandise. I wonder if now they've gotten so used to this is the type of money we can make. We are accepting nothing else but this ceiling. And now that like guys are starting to sort of realize that, and they're starting to realize this team's about money now. It's not about baseball anymore. That's creating that toxic front off. Well, yeah. And
that's the way that Tom Ricketts is operating.
Every team is, but
right.
But like, I wonder, if now that they're starting to perform worse, and they're not making as much money, they're just in damage control, and like everyone hates each other in the front office, which goes straight down to the players. And like you said, no one's going to want to play for a team that like, well, move your whole life out here just to be traded and move somewhere else. Like, especially for an older guy, like a veteran who hasn't won yet, you want to play for a team that's going to give you that. Yeah.
Right. And I will say that the reason I think this is a retool instead of a rebuild is because of the moves that were made. Speaking on all three of these guys getting traded, I always thought that we were only going to keep one. I'm not surprised that all three are gone. I thought we would at least hang on to Rizzo because he's Anthony Rizzo, and just ask any Cubs fan what they think about Anthony Rizzo, and that'll show you why everyone thought that he was going to stay. But you look at these guys that came back, and this is not how the Cubs built the team the first time. This is kind of similar to how the White Sox built the team that they have right now. They traded big-name guys like Chris Sale to Boston many years ago, and they got these good prospects back. And I'm looking at the names, and the biggest one is obviously the Pete Crow Armstrong from the Mets. Yeah, the shoulder surgery in May, that sucks. But I mean, I think the Mets drafted after us in the draft last year, and they took this kid. So we literally just got 2 first-round draft picks from last year's draft, which isn't bad per se. It's just if the retool is going to work, then these guys have to pan out. And that's always the risk you run with prospects.
And it probably won't pan out next year. I mean, unless you guys make a splash in free agency.
I'm looking at 23, 24.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because look at the payroll. Like, the highest it was when the Cubs were contending was, I think, 2 years ago. It was like crazy. It was $215 million. It's going to be down to $5 million in 2024.
Yeah, and you look at another thing about it is the amount of money that the owners didn't make during the COVID season because no fans were in the stands, basically.
Right.
You look at that and you go, and they look at their payroll, and they don't want to pay players that much money because they lost X amount of dollars, and sometimes greed gets in the way, and they're just like, you know what, we're going to cut some things this year because we lost money last year. And that might have a trickle-down effect for the next couple of years, which sucks.
That also makes me bad because I just saw a rumor that the Cubs went to the Cook County council, basically the city council of the county where Chicago is, and they submitted a request to add a 2-story structure to Wrigley Field for a sports betting area. I'm like, so why can't we put the money in the team when we're going to add on to Wrigley Field again? I think if you're going to cry poor, you shouldn't be doing
it. All part of the rebuild process. They get to make money from the sports gambling.
Yeah, that's literally
it. It is a literal rebuild.
Yeah, rebuild.
It is.
Just somebody in the front office. Oh, I thought we literally meant we were rebuilding.
I get it. I get the moves. You can't hold on to guys forever. It's impossible. Just get excited about the guys that come up because baseball moves on. I mean, that's just the way that the game is.
Not to break your heart, but Chris Bryant looks so good in the Giants uniform.
I know, dude. I literally watched as right before we started this podcast. He literally just hit the RBI single that gave them the win over the Diamondbacks.
I like that.
I think
all the teams. All the teams that your Cubs went to, besides the Yankees, of course. I like the Mets and I like the Giants.
Yeah.
So
I'm fine with it. I just hate that we made it
Rizzo
with the Yankees.
Looks so miserable on the Yankees. He just I'm gonna bat like 275, hit like 10 home runs with you guys.
And then he looks like the sad puppy dog guy. I just hit a home run.
You know what he reminds me of? It's like, so you have Chris Bryant, who I think is going to thrive in Chicago. I mean, not Chicago. He's going to thrive in San Francisco. He looks good in the uniform. You have Baez, who literally did nothing but change cities and was wearing a slightly different shade of blue.
Yeah.
And then you have Rizzo that's pretty much going like, I'm trying to be excited about it. Like, he's just like, I'm trying to get excited about it, you know?
Yeah.
But, dude, I've literally heard, Joey Gallo, he said that somebody released a statement, and they're like, how are you handling the trade deadline? And because that was pretty much a dead certain thing. He was going to the Yankees.
Yeah.
And his response was, every single day I check my phone and see if I'm playing for a team that I like. And he's like, I hope it's the Rangers. And then he's like, if it's not the Rangers, I go in the mirror and I'm going to say goodbye, beard.
Oh.
Dude,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's sad. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Literally, I'm sorry. I would rather okay, if I had an amazing beard, if I not that Joey Gallo has an amazing beard, but think about Charlie Blackmon, for example.
Right.
If Charlie Blackmon gets dealt to the Yankees for whatever reason, and I was Charlie Blackmon, I would look at the Yankees and go, "You can release me, or I am not Shave's beard."
Well, even look at Odor. The guy looks like a 12-year-old.
Dude, I would be pissed. I'd be like, screw your rule. Why? Because in the 1920s, Babe Ruth couldn't grow facial hair so that no one can now.
The New York Yankees are stuck in the 1950s. I don't get it.
I would literally set, if I was Joey Gallo or if I was Charlie Blackmon, not that he's being traded, but just it's a better example. Got the better beard.
Yeah.
But
that's facts.
If I was one of them, if I was Charlie Blackmon, and I look on my phone and my agent's like, "Hey man, you might get the Yankees." The first thing I would tweet, I would get on my phone before any trade, because there's contract and breach of contract. If you get dealt, you have to go there, or it's you can't breach your contract. But it says nothing about the contract about you slandering other teams. So the first thing I would do is I would go straight to right when the rumors picked up. I would go to Twitter and I would tweet at Yankees. I go at Yankees. Fuck you, I like my beard. And then knowing the trade deadline, how things work, that tweet would go viral from the baseball world. The Yankees would never sign him because the fans would hate him.
Yeah.
Trade falls apart. You don't got to shave your beard.
That's not a bad idea.
Dude, but I'm sorry. I would literally rather play for any team than the Yankees.
Yeah.
And it's not because I personally have a beef with the Yankees. It's because their fan base sucks. The front office is shit. They literally it is the rich person's baseball team. They only, all their seats. I do not want to pay fucking $300 for cheap seats. That's ridiculous.
James, why don't you sign me a top center fielder? Here's some pocket change.
You know what an expensive seat at PNC Park is, excluding the Lexus Club, excluding the behind home plate seats?
$39.
It's $80 is the most expensive seat. $150 if you get a really good team and it's a good matchup, right?
Dang.
I've shit you not been in PNC Park for $12. I have sat in the nosebleed, dude. And since no one goes, you just move sections.
Yeah.
It's so easy, Brandon.
Yeah.
Did you walk home?
I did, yeah.
What the hell? I saw you walking. I saw you walking, and I was just like, "Oh, he's just walking and talking." And then I'm like, "Wait a minute."
I thought. Why did you?
I was like, "That's your house. When did you get home?"
2 minutes ago.
Have you guys been watching the Olympics at all?
No.
I haven't.
I forgot the Olympics were on, honestly.
Dude, I forget every day. My mom's I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing today?" And she's like, "Oh, I was watching the Olympics." And I'm like, "Oh, shit, right."
Yeah, that's a normal thing people do. I mean, I watch highlights of it if it's ever super interesting, or if something kind of major happens. But other than that, no, I'm not super into the Olympics, unfortunately.
Oh, it's Thursday night football.
I've never been crazy into the Olympics. It's never been something I cared about. I will occasionally, I'll follow the track and field events, just if the runners I really like qualify for the Olympics. I won't I don't necessarily watch the races. I'll watch the highlights of the races and I'll keep up with it. But I don't ever if I miss something, it's not the end of the world to me.
Yeah. You guys, we should since it's kind of in the middle for you guys, we should go to Wrigley Field next year when Cubs games are cheaper.
Ooh.
Let's do a trip where we go to Wrigley Field, we go to Target Field, we go to PNC Park.
Yeah, because those are all in the same area.
We make it happen.
I mean, yeah, we could just walk from.
We could just walk like Brandon walked home.
I
will leave right now. I'll leave right now to get to opening day.
First
I think
of
you
all,
could make it.
You
I
could
could probably
make it. It would not take you that long.
I would make it.
It would take you a
It would
decent
take
fuck
Ben
ton
that
of
long.
time.
It would take me that long.
All right. So I say we just start in Minnesota and work our way to – that way we don't have to backtrack, you know?
I agree.
It'll be great. We don't have to backtrack that way. We'll all just live in
And
Pittsburgh.
all
for
of
the
our
rest
teams
lives.
will suck, so this is going to be a really cheap trip.
No, what you need to do is you need to find a game where two of our teams play each other.
Ooh, yeah.
That way we can kill two birds, one stone, which is more than likely going to be the Pirates and the Cubs.
Yeah.
And then as a unit, we all fly to Minnesota,
Ooh.
where we spend out the rest of our days
Deal.
watching Mighty Duck and playing ice hockey. Minnesota is
I'll take
basically
you to all.
And playing Duck, Duck, Gray Duck.
I'm going to take you to a random ice rink, and I'm going to tell you that. So this is where the Mighty Ducks championship was filmed, and you
No.
don't believe me.
I only want to
No,
go
no,
if it's where
Brandon,
Michael
Brandon,
Starr
no.
won the
No,
NHL
Brandon,
All-Star game.
You'll take me to oh fuck, I forgot about that. No, Brandon, take me to a random ice rink and just like be like, oh, we're in the parking lot, and then you just go drive on the ice. But Brandon, there's a building. I grew up around hockey. It's safe. Drive on the ice. And then I blast through the building, killing everyone. But the ice holds up my car, learning you think Gordon Bombay.
Yeah.
Dude, I have a
Gordon
beef.
Bombay's.
Brandon, Mighty Ducks is ridiculous. I love the movies. Brandon, you and I have talked about this. But
It's 1,000,000% ridiculous.
Despite everything wrong with those movies, the shit that makes me so mad is in
Child
between.
actors.
There's 3 Mighty Ducks movies and now a show. And in between every Mighty Ducks movie and the show, Gordon Bombay hates hockey and doesn't like kids and has to relearn that valuable lesson every fucking time, and it is the most infuriating thing.
No
It's
character
literally
development.
Dude, it's literally like how in every Spider-Man movie we have to see his origin story. Like, okay,
how
we
Uncle
get it.
Ben dies.
And how, like this.
Spoiler alert, Uncle
Yeah.
Ben's going to die in No Way Home.
I just
Tony
can't
Stark
So
already
stand
they
died.
actually just announced that season 2. There's a season 2 of the Mighty Ducks TV show coming out. So
I saw season 2 of
it'd
The
be
Bad
funny
Batch
if-
is coming too.
Ooh, that's
I don't know if it's official, but I
Oh.
heard a rumor that Bad
Can I-
Batch is
can I-
getting a season 2.
Can I talk about it?
I will let
wanna
you talk about
Mighty
The
Ducks
Bad
season
Batch,
2.
and then
I've
we
heard
will
that
do
the rumor
QTMBA.
is the rumor on the Mighty Ducks season 2 is that Gordon Bombay hates one of the players and wants to quit coaching because hockey is bad again, and then he's got to
Why
find
can't
his love
Disney
for hockey.
ruin his
something else.
contract? Please, Mickey.
I love Mighty Ducks.
I like Emilio. Yeah, that's okay.
It's
All right, Bad Batch.
Estevez.
I don't know anything about it.
You poor
Estevez.
Bad Batch
Emilio
is
Estevez.
okay. Bad Batch sort
Emilio
of transitioned like this.
Estevez.
I feel like we've talked
It
about
was-
Bad Batch on this show.
Bad Batch, because I try to refrain from Star Wars, or Brandon and I would get into a fight, and I'd really like him to continue to be my friend. He was in my wedding. I can't all of a sudden hate him. Well, you were too, but Bad Batch was supposed to be
Matt's
a
favorite movie is
one-season
Attack
show.
of the Clones. Do with what you want in that.
Despite
Go for it.
the excruciatingly amount of CGI, Attack of the Clones is one of the most pivotal Star Wars movies to the plot. Anyway, we will save this debate for later, or I'm going to rip my dick off. And A New Hope is my favorite. Attack of the Clones is, however, very much so up there. Bad Batch was supposed to be a one-season show. It was just essentially meant to be like in The Mandalorian. So we have the Revenge of the Sith, we have A New Hope, Republic, Empire, but we never had that middle ground, that transition. The Mandalorian was supposed to be that transition. However, it turned into a post-Empire show instead of a in-between show. That's what it evolved into, which is a great show. So we still have yet to have that in-between factor. We got a little bit of it in Rebels, but not a whole lot. A little bit of it in the season 7 of the Clone Wars, but we only just saw the beginning of the Empire. The Bad Batch was meant to be that buffer. And great characters, great premiere. They went so hard on the Bad Batch premiere. I mean, it was literally that one premiere was better than most episodes of the Clone Wars, in my opinion. I just really like those characters. It was amazing. And then the show kind of went stale. It's not a bad show by any means. Characters are good. The writing is still good. It's just at a point the show became like, you're running. We get it.
Let's go to this planet and do this mission.
Like it literally became The Mandalorian, which is, oh, well, let's go to this planet and do the mission. Well, on that mission, there's a side mission, and then we got to go to this planet, and then this episode ends, and then it continues. It was just the exact layout of a Mandalorian episode.
Yep.
And there were rumors.
Come on, Dave Filoni.
Well, no, there were rumors that they were talking about creating a second season because they didn't fit everything they wanted into the first season, and that's why it's moving so slow, because there was going to be a second season, but nothing was confirmed until this morning. Disney, the Star Wars official Lucasfilm's Instagram account, dropped the news. No trailer, obviously, just a Bad Batch and a season 2 logo that faded in. 2022, next year, no date yet, but I'm so excited. I cannot wait. It is going to be a 2-part finale, first part airing this Friday, and then the second part airing next Friday. I am super excited. I cannot wait.
Good. Coming out in just wee hours, because tomorrow at the time of this podcast is Friday.
Thursday?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
so I'm very excited.
Not staying up late.
No, I always watch it in the morning. Like it's 5, 6 a.m. in the morning it drops, because that's when I wake up. And if I watch it late at night, I'll get too drowsy and I don't want to forget any of it. So like I like to watch it and then have that process, that excitement carries me through the day. But yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait. I'm just so thrilled. I hope that it also gets a season 3. I would like it to at least be a 3-season run. I think the characters are so good and so unique that they deserve more than a few episodes in the Clone Wars and a 2-season show. I'm grateful for the second season, but I would like it to go at least 3. But that's my 2 cents. QTMBA time.
Yes.
This is an interesting question that was actually posed to me, but it involves you guys. You both have to sort of help answer it. So,
okay.
Ben.
Okay.
I'll get to Brandon, you're going to play a part in Ben's answer and vice versa. Ben, you get to pick one superpower in the world. What is it?
A superpower. Telekinesis. I want to be able to do things with my
telekinesis. Mind. So you can do whatever you want with your mind, except Brandon, you now get to pick the one weakness Ben has.
Ooh.
So it can be as simple as like tinfoil, or it can be as complicated as like his telekinesis only affects penguins.
Oh my God.
So like, yes, he has telekinesis, but you get to choose to what extent, or to like what affects it, what can damage it. I thought it was an interesting question. I don't know. Someone asked it to me at work, and I enjoyed it. So
I got it. I got it. Every time he uses his powers, his sports teams are guaranteed to lose that day.
Ooh, that's good.
We're talking.
That is a good one.
The Bears, the Cubs, I don't know if you are a real big black.
That makes me very.
Anytime you use your power.
That's a good one, but at the same time, you just guarantee.
And they're not guaranteed to win.
Wait,
what? They could still lose that day. So I'm saying if he doesn't use his power,
okay, I got you.
They could still lose that day.
They're
not guaranteed to win, but they're guaranteed to lose if he does use the power.
I got you. I like, yeah. So it's a normal season. Yeah. They play just like, okay, I got you. But you also just you just guaranteed that Ben makes $1 million though. All he has to do is, I'm putting my life savings. The Cubs lose this game, and then he just reads the dude's mind, thinks, oh, this guy's thinking about dicks, and I just made $1 million. Like, you just guaranteed it. Okay, Brandon. So you now know the drill. What's your superpower?
Oh, and I will preface this by saying you can't just be like, oh, I have telekinesis. Brandon, what's his weakness? Oh, he can't use telekinesis. Like, no, it can't be that. Like, it can't. But,
yeah.
What is it?
I'm going to go with ability to control time and space, like teleportation / time travel.
Those are two very different things. Do you want to teleport or do you want to time travel? No, it's the teleporting. Is like, oh, I got.
You ever seen the show Heroes?
Yeah, have you ever seen the X-Men?
No, have you seen the show Heroes? Hiro Nakamura has the ability to control time and space. He can teleport and time travel to anywhere in the world at any time.
But teleportation and time travel are different. Is he teleporting back in time, or is he like able to teleport in the same moment but go to the bathroom to take a shit?
He's able to teleport to a certain time at a certain place. So I could teleport right here to a time right now to behind you. But
that's
I can
just
also
teleportation.
Do it yesterday. No, it's
that's
time
two
travel.
Different powers.
The ability to control time and space. Ben knows what I'm talking about.
I have my weakness.
Oh my god! All right.
Every time Brandon uses his power, something affects his reality, like Back to the Future. Even if it's the littlest thing, like
so he has
it's basically no. Just by using the power.
Even if I am doing nothing.
Even the slightest thing.
That's not a weakness. That's damn kryptonite.
Okay, then fine. What? So he has to be very careful then.
So you mean if he's lazy and chooses to teleport / time travel to take a shit downstairs, his sister's going to become his dad? Like,
no, he's going to sell rhino insurance.
That's dude.
No,
I hate
okay, here.
That still. That's not.
Every time he uses his power. Ooh. I still like the Back to the Future thing, but with modified.
I would just say that, like, if he chooses to time travel, he's got to be careful because he can't, like, time travel rules apply.
Yes.
Because
the Back to the Future time rules, not the Avengers Endgame time rules. Because your current present does not become your past. Your current present remains your future.
Which, by the way, off topic, is the dumbest fucking thing.
Yeah.
I still don't understand it.
They literally said that in Avengers that there's pretty much zero consequences for what they're doing. As long as they don't have a guilty conscience, they're good. Like, that's literally it.
Captain America defying time and staying in the 1940s? And the TVA is like, yeah, he's fine.
I want to get in on this a little bit, actually, because I'm curious, and I'll let you both pick a weakness. I'm super speed. I love it. I love the Flash, and this is
shocker.
what. Yeah, I know, but I'm curious, so I will let you each go.
Super speed.
I wanted to participate.
Okay.
So, and when I say super speed, we're talking like Quicksilver, the Flash's type of super speed, like the normal, like that's the iconic power. Like we're talking that, not like Dash from The Incredibles.
Yeah, I got it.
What is it?
It's really, really stupid. Your weakness is your shoes never fit just right. There's always something off with your shoes.
Like when I'm using my power, or just in general, like for the rest of my life, like
when you're running, your shoes just don't fit. They're like they're uncomfortable when you're running.
What if I just choose to run barefoot?
Damn.
I just broke Brandon. Ben, what do you need?
This is tough.
I'm just gonna run barefoot. That's all right. Easy.
Every time.
Run barefoot then.
Every time. I got it. every time Matthew uses his superpower, he hears the same voice in his head the entire time he's using said power. Oogity boogity, oogity boogity, oogity boogity. That's it. He hears that same voice. No other thoughts, just oogity boogity, oogity boogity.
Now, wait a minute. Is it like...
He's just going to run faster.
Is it like an... Yeah, wait. Is it like an auditory hallucination? Or is it like my internal thoughts are just oogity boogity, oogity boogity, oogity boogity, oogity boogity?
It's internal thoughts because nobody else can hear it.
I think hallucination. Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it would be hallucination probably.
I mean, like, Brandon's was dumb. I'll just take my shoes off. Problem solved. Like,
you can't get away from.
Do you
why?
run?
Because
You
I'm
sprint barefoot?
homeless.
I have. But like, you got to remember, if I have super speed, I'm moving faster than anything would be able to penetrate my foot. So, like, if the Flash steps on a rock, the rock obliterates into a million pieces because of the force that he's applying to it. So, like, it wouldn't be a big deal. Like, shoes are literally shoes are an inconvenience because clothes are an inconvenience because unless they can keep up with the friction that's being caused on the unless their clothes are being
fine.
caught.
I got a different one.
If you think for
I
2
gotta
seconds, if you're about to say run naked, if you think for 2 seconds I wouldn't strip right now and run naked and do like an orphanage just to get superpowers, I would. All right, go ahead.
I've presented my weakness. I'm very happy with it.
Wherever you end up is not where you want to be. You're always running to a spot when you stop, and it's in a very inconvenient like let's say you're running to like Disney World, right? You're gonna end up
on 192
at someone's
like just
funeral.
out.
But nearby.
No, that's terrible.
Nearby.
Something right by.
Okay, wait a minute.
They have to walk. They have to walk the unnecessary, stupid length to get there.
I feel like that's not a weakness.
That's like opposites.
That's not a weakness. That's just me being stupid. Like, that's literally me getting lost. That's not a weakness.
Okay, yeah, you have no sense of direction. You have no sense of direction of where you're going.
I don't have any sense of direction now. If I just stop
fair enough.
I'll stop. I'll use my current knowledge and then wing it from there. Freaking, I'll run to the airport, and I know how to get to the airport from here. I'll run to the airport and then just take a plane. Like,
okay.
all in bare feet. While
feet.
hearing oogity boogity.
Yes. Has to be with oogity boogity.
Wow.
That,
oh my God.
That does it for this week. I think that's a great way to stop. You've got baseball rants. You've got the Bad Batch that we somehow started talking about Star Wars. I don't even know how we got there. And Matt is going to be listening to Oogity Boogity every time he runs. What was mine?
He's just going to have that going on from now on.
Every time I use my super telekinesis, my sports teams will lose. And every time Brandon space teleports through time, he lives back to the future. Unless he's careful.
Next week's debate, teleportation and time travel are two totally different fucking powers. And
that is correct.
You're gonna Google ability to control time and space, and then tell me that's superpower. And then you can just tell me how
traveling
that's okay.
And teleportation are different.
Find out next week to get the answer.
Burgers are better with the boys, and my friends suck.
Oh.